It's Week 14 of the National Football League, and all eyes are on Javonte Williams. He's the NFL's ultimate red zone back and your leader in rushing touchdowns. It's the Cowboys and the Eagles coming up next.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one, as it'll be the defending NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gautin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. Now, they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, whatever promise they had to start the season. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And bringing them out is the top pick in the 2018 draft, fiery competitor from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on some few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. You look at this Cowboy defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
And how about that last play? Did you see how quickly they got to the ball? Caused a loss of yardage? Yeah, that play shows exactly why their ranking is justified.
And now they're just hoping to see more of that. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Derek Brown in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Returnable here from the 38. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So the Cowboys ready to go on offense for the first time. And it is their now 30-year-old quarterback, Dak Prescott, who leads the way.
And how about the toughness of Dak Prescott? We see it all the time on the field. And remember when he had that serious ankle injury, would he return to form? Boy, did he ever. And he was better than ever, and that's great for the NFL. Terrific resilience, playing at a high level, capable of winning a championship with his arm and his legs.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Prescott. And his throw here is incomplete. The Cowboys at 8-4 now on the year. They've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak. And right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
On third down, it's Prescott. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he has another first down as they get the ball down to the Eagles' 18. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Prescott. His throw, about the 5. Well, the Cowboys are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Here's Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Adam Thielen with career touchdown number 60. And the Cowboys will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complementary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Singletary to get the drive started. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. 2nd down, Mayfield. That's caught by the tight end, Harrison Bryant. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 14 carries, 90 yards.
Nice solid showing from him last week. Didn't blow the roof off with his numbers, but he certainly had a quality day and produced when called upon.
Ball start.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They go right back to Singletary. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. To the sideline and incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Riley Dixon now to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Watch out for Hill on the return. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And a lot of talent on this Eagle defense, and you've seen it on these last 2 plays, both losses. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early. And that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
What a 1st quarter he's been putting together. He scored the touchdown earlier, and he's in phase right out of the gate. Right now, he's playing with such confidence, he doesn't believe that they have an answer for him no matter what they do on defense. And here's another big play to prove his point.
Prescott off play action, sliding out of the pocket. 20! Prescott able to get down there at the end on the slide, and he has the 1st as well. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football, overtime, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're open to do it consistently here. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Throwing, Prescott. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Marcus Davenport, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The kick by Bass is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Mayfield to throw it. His throw incomplete. And Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right. Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Mayfield now. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. So the completion good for just 3. And it's 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 12.
Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Got an open man. It's McLeod. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Off the draw, here's Williams. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Now, these two teams faced off earlier in the year, right around mid-season, back in Week 9. And it was the Cowboys winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here back home in Arlington. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Prescott. This one swung out to Williams. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4. It continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Mayfield on 1st down. He'll get this to Devin Singletary out of the backfield. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Up at the 29 now. They'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. Throwing, Mayfield. Looking for Ridley on the out route. He's got him. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
A little football one-on-one there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Now 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Mayfield running left on the option. It's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
Holding offense.
An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play. Move on. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Mayfield. He's going to go up top again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
I don't know if he was just working through progressions or just unaware of the pressure, but no matter. Excellent work by the defense to get him to the ground before he could escape the pocket.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On play action, Prescott.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Prescott now.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a 1st down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll make it second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up second
To
and
throw is Prescott.
at the 20-yard line.
Finding Williams once more, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Third and short yardage, Prescott. And it is caught. And the Cowboys are going to be set up with a first and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches. Prescott. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Tyler Bass now for the point after.
He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
A first down throw for Mayfield. He's got the hook up to McLeod. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Mayfield.
There's a short throw taken in by Bryant.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Again to Bryant, and again it's caught.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. Finally, on Monday Night Football, a late-season doubleheader. Titans and Dolphins in South Florida, followed by the Packers and Giants from MetLife Stadium. It was the veteran quarterback Dak Prescott who had it working in the first half. His 2 touchdown passes helped pave the way for his guys to take this lead into the intermission.
And no run back here as the 3rd quarter will commence with a touchback.
Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter.
This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he will have a Cowboys first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Looking to throw. Prescott. That is caught by Thielen. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's good for 28 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot. He picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Up the middle, it's Williams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. It's a nice run there. Gets him down to the 6-yard line.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott.
And the Cowboys take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Here's Bass now for the extra point.
And the lead is now 24. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Adam Thielen. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And they'll accept that penalty.
To throw, Mayfield. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Mayfield looks to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Walk the ball of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Hill on the return. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 45-yard line.
On the option to give to Williams here. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down.
3rd and 10.
Throwing, Prescott. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away.
Now Hill to return it.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
Possession of the football going back to the Cowboys. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
81 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Prescott to throw it.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Here's Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 at the 40-yard line.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. Good footwork at the 30. And he's taken down inside the 30. 11 yards to the Cowboy first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've run the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
A first down throw for Prescott. And his throw is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
A second down throw for Prescott. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 15-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They go back to the ground with Williams. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2, first down marker at the 5-yard line. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Arnold. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Aaron Donald drops him for a loss of 10. And it's going to be 4th and long.
He's known for his legs and his fancy footwork, but he's not getting much of a chance to use it here. The defense continued to hold the upper hand by bringing him down on that play.
So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal. This will be a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Mayfield on first down. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 32-yard line.
Here's Mayfield. And that is caught. It's Ridley. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And a penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Still first down.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Throwing, Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Mayfield with it once more. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Mayfield. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 28. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give him 12 yards that time. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw hauled in by Washington. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Singletary here running out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Singletary again. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That 2nd down play nets a -4. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Prater's kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The time to get another look at this Cowboys offense, and it's starting to look like that 3-game losing streak is going to be a thing of the past here. Coming up, 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now Prescott. This one swung out to Williams. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Prescott off play action. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. They get the sack on the blitz, but it was 3rd and inches. Are you surprised like I am they weren't running the football there?
I'm right there with you. I would have thought at worst, quarterback sneak, try and pick up the first down and move on. But instead, I think they thought they could catch him by surprise and maybe hit something deep.
An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receiver.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Full, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
And it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. On third down, it's Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
The kick by Bass is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. A 45-yard punt for there on the return. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And that flag accepted.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Again, it's Williams. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
Well, now, after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
On 2nd down, Williams. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 7.
Prescott. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And it'll be 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Cowboys, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.